Hello everybody, this is Sachin Hulagiri. Let's continue our knowledge sharing session on statistics and data science. This is volume 4. In this volume, we will look into graphs and charts. Let's see one by one. Okay, in this chapter, we are going to cover bar chart, histogram, scatter plot, pie chart, and box plot. All these charts are used in the descriptive statistics, where we will describe the existing data in a descriptive manner, in a different way of representing the data and analyzing the data. Okay, let's see one by one. First, let's see the bar chart. Bar chart is a sample representation of data. In bar chart, data is presented in bars. For example, let's see the example. Marks obtained by students. Student name A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. And marks obtained is like 10, 20, 30, 50, like that. So we will use R commands to plot a bar chart. So let's collect the default data set into a data set called D. Data set variable called D. And we can use a bar chart function to plot the data set. When we use just simple bar chart and the data set, we'll only get a similar format. I mean, like one uniform color bar chart. If we want to represent in different colors and we want more labeling on the bar chart, then we can use additional options like column names. It's the colors. It gives a rainbow color. In the bracket I given 5 means it will choose 5 colors. And then the legend text is like a marks obtained. It's here, marks obtained. And the name of the arguments what we are going to pass it's a B, C, D, E, that comes in the x axis, and this is a y axis represents the values of this one. This is how we can represent a bar chart. By this we can understand how our data is distributed. So let's see then another representation of the data, histogram. Histogram is similar to bar chart but used for continuous data. Each rectangle is joined with the other so as it is give to continuous picture. So basically we use a histogram to representing a continuous data, means we have got data which has a frequencies and other things. So let's see the same example. We have a same data, the marks data of a student, and we are going to represent in a histogram. We need to convert that one into a continuous data. We should have a continuous data. We'll have a class interval 0 to 10 and 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, and 40 to 50. So number of occurrences of the marks is like a 2, 2, and 1 and 1. When we represent the histogram, we'll use a command called HIST in the bracket data. Same thing. And then here this is only the representation, but we are going to pass the same D data set what we used in the previous bar chart. D is like a column names if you want to give, and then color you want to give, then we can give a rainbow color, 3 colors. It will take it like red, green, and blue, and red and green are repeated as it is given only 3 colors. It itself will calculate all this frequency and other things based on the number of data what we passed. It is just to understand this continuous data conversion is done when how it looks like this. But when we pass the data set with the marks, all these marks obtained, individual marks obtained, histogram automatically calculates the frequency and draws the picture according to that one. And the scatter plot. Let's see the scatter plot. Scatter plot is used to analyze correlated data. To identify the correlation between the two variables, the most popular representation is dotted scatter plot. Correlated data means like when x, two variables x and y are, we say it is a correlated. When x changes, y also will change, and y changes, x also will changes. So it may be a change, may be a directly proportional, means increasing together, or the change may be a inversely proportional, means x increases, y decreases, and y increases, x decreases. So to identify that kind of correlation, we will use a scatter plot. Let's see the example of data. X has a x has a like 10, 20, 30, 14 like this, and y data has at 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700. By seeing this one, we can easily identify there is some relation between x and y. Means wherever there is a x increases, in the same way y also increased here. So let's see this this correlation in the using scatter plot. Okay, first we'll collect the data into a x variable, x dataset variable, like all first x data and y data, and we'll just, if we do is just a plot, we can plot the x and y, that will show like this. And we want to add some more color or some more identification for that one, then we will use some more additional options. And we can also use a scatter plot too for a data frames. So let's create this one data in a data frame. Here we are using x and y, right? What we'll do, it will convert it into a data frame and x and y, and we are going to plot this data frame using a black, and the width is 10, line width is like dotted width is 10. The same scatter plot we can plot it in a dotted ways, or we can use a line chart also. When we want to use a line chart, we have to specify the line type as a L. By default it will take a dot, and the line width also I can specify it's a 3, and the line color also I can specify it is a blue color. So let's see the pie chart. Pie chart is one more different way of representing a data. Here a circle is subdivided into sectors to represent its components. Basically all the components are some of the are represented in a circle. And for example, let's see the expense details. Expense is a food, it is a 40 bucks. Traveling, it's a 20 bucks, and clothing is 18, education is 12, and miscellaneous is 10. So to draw this one in the pie chart using a R, we'll first load the data, like categories, expense categories, into a E, and collection of the data will do it, and we'll collect the data, all the expenses amount into A, and using a pie function, pie in the bracket A comma E, we'll plot a diagram as it is shown below. Here we will have diagram food and other things, travel, miscellaneous, education, and clothing. All this percentage will be divided among across the things, and we should ensure, we should remember that the pie chart always, sum of the values will always represents 100%. Altogether if we add the percentage of the space occupied, it will turn to 100%. Okay, let's see the next one, bar chart. Bar chart is like one most powerful graphical representation of the data in the statistics world. R command used to draw bar chart is like a same example we are going to take on some example. The data has a 1 to 150 range, and we use a just function called a box plot in a simple way. The basically box plot give a lot of information about the data. In one picture we'll come to know a lot of information. Let's see one by one. When we do a summary of the any data set, we'll get totally mainly 5 values. One is the minimum value, another is a first quartile, and a median value, mean, and third quartile, and a max value. All this we can see it in a one bar chart. For example, let's take in this example itself. This is the lowest line of the representation, which is like a lowest, it is one value, and then we will have a whiskers. Actually what will happen, this is a first quartile, this is a first quartile, and then this is a median value, which is like a middlemost value, and then it's a Q3, it's a third quartile, and this is a, between that one is the highest value within this data range. And you will also find one more dotted line on top of here, that is 150, which is like a outlier. Means basically the box plot will able to help us to identify the outliers and the median value and what is my data range. So this is very powerful representation of the data, and we can, in one diagram we can analyze so many things, we can analyze it. So this completes the bar chart and graphs and chart part. We'll see in the next session. Thank you very much.